So the raw reviews for the last chapter before hiatus video that I posted earlier this month got way more views than my usual. Thank you guys for all the love. So this is more of a follow-up, since I said I would make a follow-up once the English version was released, since I was looking at just the Korean images. So granted, this is still considered fast pass because this is chapter 485, which will be released for everyone this Sunday, June 28th. So this will be most likely my last chapter review until chapters come back. In the meantime, like I said in my hiatus video, I'll try to put out videos as often as I can after the anime finishes this week on Wednesday. I will be live on Twitch on Friday, June 26th. So I'll most likely be starting a reread for Tower God Webtoon. So come through if you want. Alright, this intro is long enough. Let's begin. We get actual confirmation that Caliban was the one who says that he will not attack Bomb's group until Jin Sung-ha is rescued, which is awesome. And I know how hesitant Bomb is because Caliban is the reason his master is in this situation anyways, but Han Sung-yu always has the right things to say. He says that it's better to not have Caliban as an enemy if possible. And we also got Caliban to make sure to remind Bomb that in the end, they are eternal enemies, so hopefully this means that we'll get another fight between them in the future. Granted, this would mean that Caliban won't sacrifice himself to save Jin Sung, which, I don't know, it could happen. Han Sung-yu makes a smart move to have Caliban go up in the front lines so that we don't have to worry about him backstabbing our group. Evanknell looking clean in her leather jacket. She has definitely gotten more muscular and taller since she decompressed, but I feel like there's probably another stage of decompression in the future. Of course, way more death flags for Evanknell, as her and Lefebvre are going to a secret place in the nest that she has to be the one to destroy. More death flags, more red flags. I really do hope she dies. I did make a video about when she looked like she almost died when she fought against Alpha Tion a couple of chapters ago. You can take a look at my reasoning on why I feel that Evanknell has served her purpose in the story already. Lyborick continues to claim that this is all according to plan, that headquarters or Princess Adori had wanted to get rid of Caliban from the beginning. Hopefully we will get the matchup of Caliban and whatever's remaining of his crew, like Cheon-hee and Eri Sharon against Lyborick's new division commanders. It looks like Maschenny will give Yas full control over the second wall as she goes to the center with a branch leader. I wonder which branch leader this is. Maybe it's another Lopo Bia one that we haven't seen yet. Her little remark to Lyborick is funny because Lyborick is definitely hiding something that he probably will not share to them. Like how the Hidden Grove members that he had captured are in some warship that survived past when the flagship blew up. And she says something interesting about how it would hurt the Army Corps Pride, but one squadron has already fallen, and that's more damage since the Genesis War, I believe. So the Pride is already destroyed. Anything more is just extra pain / collateral for Jihad to use as a rallying cry against FUG. Poor Mew Love. He's having some trouble because he's definitely outmatched against Fucile, a high ranker who's also the 2nd Division commander for the 5th Squadron, while Love is a test admin ranker who got bested by Viol. It's interesting how SIU gives us these great assets for Bomb's team, but they're going to be confined to a certain area. We learn that the needle itself is a warp device. They'll be used to get them out once they rescue Bomb's master. So Augustus will be defending the needle here. I'm sure Kuhelum and Soho are chilling outside the first wall to teleport them as well from that direction. We saw 2 silhouettes in last chapter. It seemed like Sophia Tan's students because of the way they address Sophia Tan, and it looks like Sophia Tan runs this thing called I'm gonna butcher this, but Seolhyangwon Wong some school, I'm assuming, and these girls' names are Namo and Sola. They definitely remind me of the spearhead from the workshop arc that Wagner had to fight first. That was the half and half clan, I think, because they were holding hands. These girls seem to have their own personalities, and their school is an all-girls school, so they actually left because they were looking for some men and some video games. The reason they're holding hands is because their Shinso gets stronger. I wonder why. I haven't heard of this concept before, so hopefully when we get out of hiatus, SIU will actually expand on this more. So it seems like we'll have Love, Solo, and Namo versus Fucile potentially in this upcoming game that Yas introduces. Fucile definitely seem to have a good strategy because they probably plan to get enough of the enemy troops to funnel through the needle to use the main cannons, but I feel like Fucile should have waited until he saw Yama, who Fucile actually fought before at Chaswal, since he knows how much of a threat Yama is. But regardless, it gets countered by Sophia Tan, who's a light bearer, which is really dope to see. Her advanced skill, hexagon crystal, looks like a really advanced Enacor, maybe? So it'll be pretty cool seeing these techniques that Kun will most likely master as he climbs the tower. I really didn't think Sophia Tan would be involved in the fighting itself, but I'm glad she is. Granted, I feel like she'll be one of the protectors for the needle, for that warp drive. Or warp device. It's cool to see how much faith Hwoarang actually has for Bomb, as she almost risked lives of a bunch of high rankers for Bomb to clutch and use the soul power to save the needle. I don't know if we actually got introduced to everyone that we saw in the silhouettes in the needle, because there was this like big lanky looking dude. I don't know if we've seen him yet, but regardless, it looks like everyone from the needle is just gonna guard the needle. But I hope Mew Love will actually travel to the next wall, or at least travel forwards with Bomb, so that they can interact again after 30 plus floors and a couple of years since they last fought on the 20th floor. And we get the 5th Squadron division commanders finally joining the fight. Fucile again is always in the front line. Yas really does favor him. It's cool that we already got these division heads intros out of the way back in Shazwal, so we can technically get right into the matchups. They make the remark that not all of them are feline, which is true since we have a mouse girl, and I think Dendrick is just a regular human, but he moves very similarly to a cat. Calvan coming in strong-armed as usual, well, only one arm, so strong arm, and just demands for Lyborick. And Yas even makes an appearance. This is such a huge cast of people getting together for this fight this early on into the second wall. So the second wall will play significantly differently from how the first wall is, which is great. This final shot is so hype, it is definitely a way to conclude for hiatus. I'm pretty sure SIU had planned that this would be the chapter, so assuming he made these panels in time. This game will probably lead to a bunch of matchups, and we might even get some prolonged 1v1 fights finally. It's been a while since we had one. I'll save the predictions for another video since, well, we don't actually know exactly when the Webtoon will start releasing chapters again. That's all for the video. I'll start uploading way more often during this hiatus to keep you guys engaged, and we'll probably start from the beginning chapters and work our way up throughout the story with my thoughts and takes on some of the events in the story. If you get a chance, subscribe to get access to these reviews. Well, not every week anymore. My social media can be found by searching Inspirational on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Shout out to my designer. You can find his work on Instagram at jatinv_photography. Shout out to my editor. You can find him on Twitter at YoungObesity. Now, see you all next time.